Hi everybody, my name's Dan. I am the Internet and eBay manager of Encore Motor Cars here in Sarasota, Florida, just below Tampa, Florida on the Gulf of Mexico coast. And we're going to cover this 2016 beautiful Cayenne with some nice equipment, and it's like a new condition with only 8,500 miles on it. And the purpose of the video really is just to cover the equipment that came with this particular car, and also go over some of the, I know it's a 2016 with only 8,500 miles on it, but it's still a good idea to just take a quick look at some close-ups on some of the areas on any pre-owned vehicle that can have wear on them. This car, I just spent 10 minutes going over this car out here before I hit the button here on my camera to roll this video, and I could not come up with a thing on the car really that I need to disclose. But I would rather have you see it with your own eyes. And I'm going to get a close-up of the front end paint areas, and also the wheels, tires, and the interior spots that on this car are not worn, but on some others, after they get a few thousand miles on them, sometimes you see some evidence of use. This one doesn't really have much, but again, the purpose of the video is to go over that and to just discuss what came with this car as far as we've got the Porsche printout here of what these options are and so forth. We just balanced the tires and took the tires off. There's a mark on here. If you look at, you can see me rubbing that off right there. That's not a scuff. I just noticed that was still on the car. I would have washed that out before I drove down here to do this video if I'd have seen that back at the dealership. But there's no scuffs or marks on any of the wheels. Nice set of Goodyear tires, like new, with only 8,500 miles. I'm sure you can imagine that's what they should look like. The car does have the one thing that I can, or the few things that I can show you on the outside of the car that were an option, was the tow hitch back here, and the backup assist, park assist, I guess you'd call it, with the front and rear sensors there, and also the panoramic roof, and the wheels. The wheels are a big deal. These are the RS 20-inch wheels. I think they really make the car. They really give it the really premium look to the car. The standard smaller wheels on this car are very boring, and they kind of make the car, it takes the sportiness and the whole look of the Porsche kind of away from the car when you don't have these premium wheels in this car. If you had to buy these wheels off of eBay, I just looked at it, it would cost you about $5,500. When they bought the car new on the sticker as part of the building the car process, it was $3,500. So it's a big deal. It makes a big difference in the ride of the car. Also, mostly the look of the car changes completely. So let's get right down to exactly what the car has for equipment on it. One of the things is, obviously you can see the exterior colors, the Carrera white metallic, and the interior is the luxury beige and black two-tone. They've chosen the two-tone interior. I love the idea of this because I've had a car with a tan interior with the tan rugs, and believe me, it's not fun having to try to keep those things clean. Also, these areas up here on the door panels and on the back of the seats and all the areas that would get marked, they've decided to design them with the black instead of the lighter colors. Of course, there's some areas here that are prone to marks and so forth, but they're in areas where you want them to be nice and cool, and that if the sun hits them directly, you don't want that black interior heating up on you. That's half the reason why a lot of these people in Florida down here don't like the seating sections of the car to be a dark color because they heat up. I like the two-tone look. I think it really gives it a rich looking appearance on the interior. The roof also, I like the idea that that's black on this particular car because people put their hands and you know, put their hands up on the handles there, and they can brush their hands up against, and even if they're clean people in your family, they still manage to over time begin to get marks and scuffs and things on them like that. Just gonna grab the keys real quick, and we're gonna look into the back area. It's got the automatic gate on the key. Sorry about my finger there. And the entire section in the back is black, which is nice for storing cargo in here. Golf bags and things like that can get the tan interior to have a little bit of soil on there, and you know, obviously you try to avoid that. And the back area is also black in the back here. So tops of the seats forward are tan, and then the rest of the stuff is black. Of course, there's sunshade in there. A nice set of mats. And let's take a look at the driver's mat to see if there's any wear on the driver's mat. And there it is, and I don't see any wear on it. 8,500 miles. Really impressive the way they kept the condition of the car. You can still see that all the tools, everything is exactly the way it was when it was new. And here, doesn't look like they've ever had to mess with that at all, ever. And that's nice to see that basically whoever gets this car is going to be enjoying the benefits of a nearly new car with just a few thousand miles on it for $12,000 or $14,000 less than what the other guy had to spend on this car to get it when it was brand new. The Porsche, the company, when you're getting a car from these guys, if you don't know about it, you have to get most of the equipment you have to get a la carte. There's a couple of options like the one that this one has called the premium package that does kind of cluster a few of them together, but most of the equipment you have to pick and choose along the way. One of the big deals on this interior is the better seats, the 14-way seats. Anybody that's looking at Porsches, if you find a base model car, usually that's a car that sticks around for a long time. If you're going to get into a Porsche, you might as well go all the way and get some of the stuff in there that is nicer than just a standard edition car. Porsche knew quite well that they wanted to build a base car, and then they wanted and let the people choose what they wanted on the car. That's one of the reasons why they do that. They don't just do a bunch of options altogether. The steering wheel in 2016 is a beautiful upgrade from the previous year with the 3-spoke, with the hollow. It's kind of like a blast from the past back on the old Porsche steering wheels from the classic Porsches. And I'm just going to cover the interior features and options. I already covered the exterior park assist and the wheels. I'm just going to cover this. I'm going to read this right off of here so I don't leave anything out. One of the other things on the front of the car is and the premium package is the bi-xenon headlights and the dynamic light system. It's really great when the car is started. There's 4 lights. I don't know if you can see even on the bottom. There are 4 lights. Probably a good idea to get a look right from the start. 1, 2, 3, 4 that stay on. Those are the driving lights. And that's the new look for the Porsche front end. They're going to carry that forward. That's new for 2016. They're going to carry that forward for years to come. And this is the first one that they've had. It has the park assist front and rear with the reversing camera. Has the panoramic sunroof, which we covered already. Has the power steering plus, which is a standard option on the premium package. Automatic dimming mirrors, comfort light package. There's a little extra lighting inside for you. Memory power seats with the memory, and then it has the heated and the ventilated seats. And down here in Florida, I think that's or anywhere in the South, I think it's a great idea to have both heated and ventilated seats on the car. Here, that's part of your 14-way power seat right there. And let me just jump in here. I want to show you a couple of the controls. We're going to go for a ride. Also on the bottom here it says it has the Bose stereo system, which is an upgrade. So let's just go over the pricing on the car. And in 2016 it was a little higher. In 2017 they reduced the price, but they've added some of the options and the pricing on the options. So it's very similar. Carrera White is $790. The luxury beige interior $380. The premium package that we just discussed is $5,690 plus an additional $660 for the panoramic roof. On top of that is it's part of the premium package. It's like an upgrade within the package for the panoramic roof. The 8-speed Tiptronic transmission is a phenomenal transmission. And there's no way you'll ever know that there's 8 speeds when you're using it, because it's such a seamless, really great, superior transmission engineering in there. It's just unbelievable. The 20-inch wheels I told you about, 3,510 on the sticker. Sorry about me missing there. I'm trying to read and show you at the same time. The lane changing assist is nice. That's $850, and that's great. It gives you some feedback through the mirrors and through the audio, if you're in the blind spot, and some feedback through the seating area as well on that for $850. Really a nice system. And then the Bose surround system is $1,690, and that's a great sound system. I'll turn this down for a quick second. Classic Porsche design on the interior. We've got the speedometer to the left, the tachometer, as the purist, always the purist. The Porsche owner wants to see the revs on the engine in the center there. Your mileage reader, your odometer is 8647, and you've got some other nice equipment, and this is basically the same for Porsche. Across the board, you've got your oil temperature and your oil pressure in that gauge to the left, and then you've got your navigation, last destination, some other stuff really for basically the technology part of the car is in that gauge right there. And then to the right, you've got your water temperature and your gas. In the center there, when you turn your car on, this thing winds up and goes from 12 noon or whatever that setting is, up, both arrows up, and it'll wind itself to whatever time it is right now. That's the correct time for right now. It's taken from the option that they used to be a stopwatch in the old sports cars, and it's kind of a nostalgic place to put the clock up there. Okay, we've got a nice display system down here, and this is what I really like about this Porsche design for the console. Is it looks a little busy because of all the amount of buttons that are on here. Well, it becomes second nature once you realize that there are different sections that control different parts of the car. In the very top of this console, it covers the climate control system, and it's just like any other climate control system. You've got two sides, two zones, but you've got your defroster, your heat, and then just basically your temperature and your fan buttons for each side of the car. Excuse me if there's any air getting in the microphone here. And then here is basically just where you want the air to blow on either side. Now you get the controls for either side, and then this is your controls for the seats. It's very straightforward, and it becomes second nature once you get around. You spend a few minutes in the car, and you see it looks very busy, but it's really a very simple system and straightforward. The other, some of the other German companies have the dials and the buttons. Mercedes and BMW. Well, this is designed so that you can reach out and know where everything is. It's memorized where it is, just like your old car that you're used to. You'd be able to just turn up this here and there, switch this to there and here, and it becomes second nature. Just reach out, hit the button while you're focused on the road instead of watching your display and trying to aim your display while you're driving. It's basically very simple and safer, I believe, on these Porsches, and they're a purist company when it comes to just driving, and they try to keep some of the stuff simpler, even though it looks a little more complicated. On the this is your tuner, your media, your phone, your navigation. Everything all in one, and it's just a great, easy to operate source. Your radio volumes on the left, just like the old days. The tuning's on the right, just like the old days. And there's some other buttons you can hit for sound, source where it comes from. And once you get to know this, there's really only a few buttons in here. It's really easy for you to steer this, operate this mechanism. Up here, there's some more buttons going on. Again, these are complex looking, but they're very simple, and they're the amount that you want your roof to be open, some lights up in here, whether you want your lights to come on when your door is open or not, and then these are your dome light or your reading lights for the back, and then you can turn off your parking assist button right there, and this is for your sunroof shade right here, and that's for the roof mechanism itself. So once you understand it, it's very straightforward and easy to operate. So one of the features that they have on all Porsches is these shifts handles. People can use them with this transmission that they have. It's fantastic transmission. You can bring it down and be in drive mode, go about your business like you're driving your old-fashioned automatic. But if you wanted to slip it over here into the manual mode, you can go up and down here, and you can also use your up and down. That's a plus sign right there, and that's a minus sign, and that takes some practice. You'll have to read up on that in the manual. I don't want to get into it with you now, but it does have that feature. That's very nice. This has the smoker feature in here, which is the only way you can get something in here that has this information, this ashtray in here. I think it's nice just to be able to put stuff in, a pen or whatever. And then your cup holders are down here with your cigarette lighters down here. That's part of the smoker package too. And I think it's probably because whoever ordered the car wanted to have this outlet here easily accessible without having to get in the glove box or go anywhere else. So I'm going to quickly go for a quick ride in the car. And one of the things that anybody that's probably looking at this car knows about is the feel of what it is to drive any Porsche that's made. You know, from the Boxster all the way up to the Turbo and into these, you know, the sedan Porsche that they have, and these SUVs and the Cayennes. Really an unbelievable cockpit, really solid feel, really comfortable behind the wheel of the car when you sit in the seat. The seats are always very comfortable, and the steering wheel feels great. It's always in the right place right in front of you. The gauges are always in the right place right in front of you, and when you're driving the car, it feels like it's almost like a video game where you're almost like putting on a suit and operating it through a sort of kind of an osmosis. It sounds a little cheesy what I'm saying, but it's really like you're wearing a piece of clothing when you're driving the car. It's an extension of the driver, and it's really a great feel on the road. You're sitting here, it's almost like you're putting the car on instead of just sitting in the driver's seat. You know, like, I think I've told you enough about that. I'm a little excited about the way that the Porsches handle and drive. I didn't get into the easy to use controls on the door with the power windows, the power mirror, and your memory selections, and your power door locks in here. All straightforward stuff. These lights here on the mirror, they turn amber when there's somebody in your blind spot. So that's what the lane change assist is. When somebody's in a place where you can't see them in your mirror, that light comes on, and one of you're apt to look into your mirror. When you look at your mirror to look, you also notice that light's on, and oh my goodness, maybe I should wait for somebody to get out of my way before I make the change. So that's how that is. Quickly going to take a quick ride in this just to check the performance. I'm going to talk about the engine for a minute, and then I'm going to end the video. While I'm waiting for the traffic to come, I'll just pan over and show you the dealership. This is our dealership. This used to be the old BMW dealership before they moved out to the huge monstrosity of a facility out there on a different place where the new dealers are all moving to. We do have a full service facility in our place with a factory trained BMW, Mercedes, and Porsche technicians, and we go through the cars. This one obviously didn't need much because it's a brand new car with 8,000 miles, but we do make sure that all the cars are you know, as close to new as we possibly can before we ship them. So we will have serviced this car, whatever it needed, before we ship it to anybody, or you come pick it up. Now, the engine on the car is a tried and true 3.6 V6, which is an engine that's been around for years and years, sharing it different platforms here and there with the other German companies. And it's a real reliable engine that's just bulletproof, and that's the best part about it. Now, in 2000, this is the last year of this engine, so you know, I'm of the old school thinking where, you know, get the tried and true motor, the one that everybody's already tested out before you came along, and don't be the guinea pig that's going to get the first year of this, you know, supposedly improved engine. It's probably technically it is improved. Well, what's not, or there's no track record on what kind of history it will have, if it holds it, the gaskets all hold up, and if the mechanical parts all work together like they're supposed to for a long period of time. The 3.6 engine is something that is a great performing engine, more than enough power for this car, and the transmission with the 8-speed transmission really is able to draw as much performance out of this engine as possible. You couldn't really hook up another transmission on here that would do a better job driving the car, making it feel the way it does, and harnessing the power of the engine. The technology is outstanding. Obviously, the German engineering. Well, we're going to roll back to the dealership now. Without further ado, I don't want to bore you anymore. I told you my name was Dan at the beginning of the video. I'll give you my contact information now. It's Dan, and I run the eBay department, and I also do internet sales for the dealership and do these kind of videos for the dealerships. And my phone number, if you want to call me directly, is 941-915-7637. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've had my own dealerships and down here and enjoying myself in Florida, working, doing this now. I have an inventory of about 100 cars that I'm able to use and sell from this platform, and it's a really wonderful dealership to do business with. I really enjoy the staff that they've had here, and all the members here have been here for a long time, and that says a lot about the dealership. We offer financing, we take trade-ins, we do warranty, we do a full service. We've got a great service following here in town. We're voted the #1 independent import dealer in Sarasota for now, I think it's 6 or 7 years in a row. And so you're dealing with a very professional outfit. I would be doing the shipping if you decide to do any shipping, and I'm happy to cover anything with the car, options, equipment, condition, any concerns you might have. If you want me to double check anything or get some still shots of some other areas of the car that you may want to see, I'm happy to provide that for you. Just give me a call and I'll be happy to do that for you. If you want to talk about logistics, payments, price, the best thing to do is just pick up the phone and get the conversation started, and I'll do my best for you. It's 941-915-7637. Again, my name's Dan. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.